How's it going? Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another great and majestical video here on The Savior Show. That's right, guys, welcome back. How are you doing? Let me know in the comments down below. And today, guys, marks a very special episode because we're gonna do a top 5 video marking down the best games of this decade. And that's right, guys, it is a special celebration and a happy birthday to all the great games of this decade. So let's jump into the video. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this list and give me your suggestions in the comments down below, because this is just my opinion. Please remember that these aren't, on record the best games to come out in this decade. But for me, these are the top 5 best video games of the last decade. And yeah, so let's just jump into the video and let's count down, starting off with number 5, okay? So number 5 for me, guys, would be, of course, The Witcher 3, okay? Because The Witcher 3 is truly amazing. It's next level. There hasn't been many good games in the last decade. I've kind of given up on games, actually, because a lot of them are just completely terrible now. They're just complete mediocre, copy and paste, and, they don't really show any kind of, new design, new initiative, new mechanics. But The Witcher 3, the people behind The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red, they are amazing when it comes to making, world building, character development, interesting history, really detailed environments, and fun gameplay. They are just, next level. And The Witcher 3, if you don't know, is the third in the franchise of the Witcher games, and all of them are pretty much amazing. I love the second one, and the third one just outshines because it's, on the current generation, and it's just truly amazing. So much detail, so many things that you can do, so much choice and impact with this game, and that's what I really love. And you'll notice that with my list, that I do like games with choice, okay, and branching narratives, but that's just my personal taste. So like I said, please let me know yours down below. But yes, The Witcher is amazing, and I don't think anyone can really dispute that. If you haven't played it, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because like I said, not many good quality games exist nowadays. So go check this one out, because it is one of them. Okay, so number 4, guys, is of course Skyrim. That's right, guys, The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And by the way, I'm not listing these in an order of I think one is better than the other. These are just the top 5 in the last decade, just the top 5 video games in the last decade. I'm not listing them in like a ranking order. In my opinion, all these games are just amazing, okay? So number 4 is The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And if you know about this game, everyone went crazy for this game. I don't think we've ever seen a game with so much hype before, because everyone pretty much was playing this. And if you don't know what The Elder Scrolls Skyrim is, it's pretty much like The Witcher 3 in many ways, but it's very different. It's a fantasy kind of game with adventure kind of gameplay. If you're a fan of movies like, I don't know, The Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, then you would absolutely love this game, because it's very, very detailed as well, but in a kind of Bethesda kind of way, where a lot of it is kind of janky, and there's a lot of like glitches, but it makes it funny, and it makes it you could just say that it's rough around the edges, and that wouldn't be wrong. But the exploration feel you get from this game, and the openness, and just the feeling of discovery, is unlike any other game. It probably even surpasses The Witcher in that aspect, and the gameplay is pretty solid. You always feel like you're developing the person you play as, so that just makes it really fun to play. And the character you play as is your own. It's not based on another person, so you can really embody yourself and really get yourself involved in the game, and it just makes it very immersive and very fun to play. So yeah, number 4 is The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. At number 3, guys, I have Red Dead Redemption 2, okay? Now, you've probably played the first Red Dead Redemption. That was amazing as well. I would say, in many ways, it's actually better than Red Dead Redemption 2, but Red Dead Redemption 2 pretty much takes what the first game did and just builds upon it, makes it way more, you know, immersive, way more, you know, just the environment and stuff like that. It's a lot more diverse. The world building is amazing. It's much bigger. It's very varied, and the gameplay has been improved upon so much. The story, in my opinion, probably isn't as good as the first one, but it's still very intriguing, and it really gives a great backstory to the first one because it is a prequel. And you know, I don't enjoy the character as much as John Marston, who you play as in the first one, but Arthur Morgan is very complicated, very complex, and you can really, you know, unlike the first game where it's kind of like a set character, you can really change how you play, and basically if you're good or if you're a complete sick scumbag, and you can do some pretty despicable stuff in Red Dead Redemption 2. And like I said, it's very detailed, it's very realistic. It's probably the most realistic game I've played. You know, all the animations are done, you know, so well. It's so detailed, and you can basically, you know, change the way your character develops, how Arthur develops. So I really do like that, and that's why it is better than the first Red Dead Redemption, because it's just so diverse. You can do so many different things. You can just be a normal, happy Western, you know, good guy and just play poker, or you can be a complete disgusting, you know, murderer or whatever. You know, the whole idea of Red Dead Redemption 2 is to have this amazingly detailed and realistic feeling world where, you know, things actually take time. You know, it's not a magical, you know, backpack that you can store all your items in. Everything you can realistically carry, you pretty much, you know, can carry. You know, it's very balanced in that way, and some people don't like how slow-paced it is, but actually, if you give it time and you appreciate all the immersive stuff that it's trying to do, it is really one of the best games in the last decade, and that's why it's at number 3, guys, okay? Now, at number 2 is very close to the, you know, beginning of the decade, and that's why I want to place this at number 2. You know, you would consider this as a last-gen game, but to me, it's timeless, okay? Because the whole idea of this game was just amazing. Because I was actually kind of anti it to begin with, but then when I played it, I realized how much better it was than the first one from Bethesda. And if you don't know what it is, then let me tell you. It's Fallout New Vegas. That's right, guys. Fallout New Vegas is my number 2 top 5 game of the last decade. It's just really great. Now, you can probably see a pattern with the games that I enjoy, and that is, you know, games with choice and really lots of, you know, dialogue and narrative structure and different pathways where you can choose and really feel like you have an impact on the world you're playing in and the character you play as. I really like that. I enjoy linear story games as well if they're done well, not like The Last of Us Part 2, but if they're done well, then yes, I do enjoy them. But these open-structured, open-world games, although there are so many of them out there now, and so many, like I said, copy the same mechanics like Assassin's Creed and stuff, but, you know, these really unique ones, like The Witcher 3, like Fallout New Vegas, where all the characters feel real, and you can have a real impact on all these different individuals. And, you know, the gameplay was, like I said, a little bit like Skyrim, because it's made, you know, half and half by the same people, Bethesda and Obsidian. It's a little bit janky, but it's still so fun to play as because, you know, no playthrough is ever the same, and that's what makes it so great. I played this game so much back in the day. I have kind of got tired of it now, but I did love it so much, and I just loved all the choices you could make, all the moral grayness and the dark kind of morbid, cynical sense of humor that it had, you know, so well. It was unlike any other game, and it's truly amazing and a masterpiece, and one of the best games in the last decade, in my opinion. And at number 1 on this top 5 list of the best video games in this decade goes to, drumroll, Cyberpunk 2077. That's right, guys. Now, you might say, you can't really say this, Savior, because it's not actually out. It's not actually been released yet. But, guys, let me just say this, okay? It's made by the same people who made The Witcher 3. And we all know that CD Projekt Red make amazing games. We all know how amazing Cyberpunk 2077 will be. We've seen gameplay, we've seen the world, we've seen the characters and the different kind of branching story paths you can do, and how much of an interesting, unique world this is going to be. And, you know, like I said, there hasn't been many good games, and I haven't been looking forward to any. So this is the one game that I feel like has been worth the wait, finally. And it's going to be just so amazing. I can't wait to get into it. And also the best thing about this is it's going to be next gen, which means it's going to be even more like complex and beautiful than all the other games I mentioned previously. So it's going to be even more amazing probably than The Witcher 3, but a very different kind of genre. But I'm really looking forward to it because there's no way really that they can mess this up. I don't see how, and it's definitely going to be the top #1 game of this decade. And yeah, that's my list of the top 5 best games of the decade, of this current decade. Let me know what your top 5 games are, and let me know if you agree with my list or if you think my list is really bad. Like I said, there's so many games out there, but to me, these ones are really unique and they don't copy and paste each other, and they give you a lot of variation and choice. And to me, that's what I look forward to, and that's what I look for in a gaming experience, because unlike other media, gaming is very different because you actually have an impact on what you see and what you do, and the games that gives you more choice and more impact and a lot of detail, I think is more worth the time and worth your money. And that's just my top 5 list. Let me know yours, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have yourselves a blessed day, stay safe my sinners, and peace out. Bye bye.